It's been almost a decade since I took in my first child. And I can tell you, there's been so many lows and highs, but through it all, it has been the best decision I made. After fostering more than 45 children, there are so many lessons I've learned as a foster parent. And something that I want you to learn and grow. I hope these 5 things helps you to see a little insight of what foster care looks like, what it looks like for you, and what it looks like for me as well. So don't forget to subscribe and don't forget to leave a comment. But also, you're gonna find so many topics about this in my book. I had never been a parent until I became a foster parent. Little did I know that every child is different. I thought every child is the same. I mean, they're all kids, they eat the same food, they do the same things. Well, I was wrong. Kids are different in every shape, form you can imagine. In what they eat, in how they sleep, in what they like to dress in what they like to play. So before I became a foster dad, I decided that I would only foster boys. Well, little did I know that even boys are different. Little ones between the age of 3 to 5 are different than 5 to 7. And then I never fostered kids who were above 8. And then I got to foster teenagers. I thought the kids were the same, but absolutely I was wrong. The teenagers are a whole different world. And then I became a foster dad to a girl. Oh boy, I had so much to learn. That I had fostered boys for a long time, and finally I got to foster a girl, and I saw how different things were. They're all kids, yes, same age, but so different because they have different needs. They love different colors. They love to play different things. And that quickly truly helped me to change the way I parent, because I realized that my kids, no matter how they were, no matter where they came from, no matter what family they came from, they were very, very different. Since I became a foster parent, I got to learn that every child who comes into foster care has some kind of trauma. And trauma affects kids in different ways. Sometimes by age, sometimes by gender, sometimes by how they react to the trauma they've endured. Trauma affects children in different ways, most of them by the age. When they're little, it affects them different. Yes, they're still dealing with trauma, but the way they react to it is a little bit different. Sometimes they're not able to verbalize what they're feeling, but they're able to act it. And once they're a little bit older, between 5 and 10, they're able to act and tell what they are feeling. Or sometimes they get to do things and they have no clue why they are doing it. Why? Because trauma is in their brain, and sometimes instinctively they react without really thinking. But it's caused by trauma. When they're teenagers too, well, it's different. This time they can act, they can tell, and sometimes they can know how they're feeling. So trauma affects children by age and in a different way. Sometimes kids come from the same family, same age, but somehow react to trauma in a different way. As a foster dad too, I've come to learn that most of our kids, sometimes when they're siblings, face the same trauma. But the way they react to it is so different. Some are a little bit off, some are positive, some are not even sure what they're feeling, but at the same time, they felt or they endured trauma the same way. And it's been interesting for me as a dad to watch that I cannot really treat trauma just because the kids come from the same family the same, because I realize that trauma affects kids, yes, but not the way they feel, but also how it affected them. Hello, my village. You always know everything I get to do, you get to know fast. Actually, all the lessons I've learned as a foster dad, the good, the bad, and all that encompasses my foster journey, I have written them in this one book, Love Does Not Conquer It All. If you want it, absolutely, you can pre-order it on my website, but also you can find it in any bookstore in the world. Let's change lives by loving every child. As a parent, you want to honor where they come from, but also as a parent, you want to honor every child so they feel they are loved and they're comfortable, and also they feel the valid of their feelings. So in this case, I get to make sure that I tell them, I'm just your temporary dad, you know, but also make sure that I validate the feelings of the other, that hey, your mom and dad loves you, and it's okay to feel that way, because you're validating the child's feeling, and you want to make sure that that is answered and they feel you heard them, and also that you appreciate their feelings as well. You know, I've fostered more than 45 children, and I've come to learn that kids need change along the way. The one thing as a parent that I have had that is an issue is sometimes projecting my own standards to them, knowing that they are standards that they won't meet or they're not cut for. And now I learn quickly on how to parent my kids as who they are rather than who I want them to be. And that helped me be a better parent by making sure that what they want is what they want. And what I wish for them, yes, I'm just wishing, but also honoring what they want. And in that way, it has helped me be the best parent, but also guide them to where they want to be because I am catering to who they want to be. So what do you do when you have a kid who has different choice that one you have as a parent? As I shared with you, food. So one thing I get to do, I make sure they eat their food, but on agreement, they also eat my food. So we go hand in hand. When they eat their food, I bring in my other choice in some way so they get to know that I value their opinion, but also I don't want them to feel horrible that where they come from is bad. So in order to teach them, I get to really give them option as well. So we meet in the middle, have yours, but next time we get to have mine. And in that way it works and they don't feel like I'm dishing what they like, but also I'm supporting what they like. At the same time, including what is good for them as a dad. I didn't know what unconditional love looks like, but they have taught me how. But also sometimes I have not been nice and they're able to say, Dad, that's not nice. And for me to step back and say, I need to change the way I view or the way I parent. The other part is like kids are good at switching that button. You know that button that really takes you back? And I've come to learn on how to compose myself when that switch is turned on to make sure that I stay put in order to be there and be the best parent I can be. I did not have a best childhood, I can tell you that. And sometimes, yes, my childhood triggers are there and they know how to get to that. And it's been a joy for me to learn from them how to calm down, how to step back, but also how to validate what they are saying. That is true as a parent, that maybe I'm not being kind. Maybe I'm not using my soft voice. And in that way has helped me learn so much about me, learn patience, learn kindness, and learn unconditional love. Because they taught me how. I've read some of your comments saying, my kids are lucky to have me. That's not true. I am the one who's lucky to have them. They have taught me so much. They've made me a better human being. They made me a better man. As a kid who grew up, never been married, there are so many things that I had to learn from my kids. I didn't know what unconditional love means. Now I know how. I didn't know how to step back and listen to my kids. Even when I do wrong, now I know how. Because my kids have taught me how to be a better human being. As an African, I love the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. So that's what I'm doing for me as a foster dad. Hopefully you get to learn a few lessons like these 5 we learned together that will help you be a better parent, but also learn on how you can teach others as well. If you want to learn more, check that in my description, but also check that on my website. And my book has all the lessons I've learned. Check it out. It can help you.